Hello, and welcome to A Major Puzzle. This is a virtual toolkit I assembled to help you make an informed decision about your major. My name is Eric Pavasik, and I'm the Assistant Director of First Year Engagement within Career Advising and Professional Development. Hello to all of you. My hope is that through this virtual toolkit, I can provide you with some tools, but if at any point you need assistance, feel free to reach out to me at epavasik@mit.edu or set up an appointment using Handshake. Throughout this presentation, I will share different tools and have a resource link in Handshake for you to access at any time during this webinar. Before I get too deep, I want to remind you that your major is just a single aspect of who you are. Do not let this decision define you or restrict you. While it is true that certain majors do support different career paths, it is not always the case. In the coming slides, my hope is to help you understand some of the different tools you can use to make an informed decision. So let's start with you. You might not really know who you are just yet, and that is okay. The following tools are ways for you to become better acquainted with who you are, what you like, and other characteristics that can aid in your decision. Career Advising and Professional Development provides access to several guided self-assessments, including Strengths Quest, the MBTI, and Strong Interest Inventory. Many of these can be completed online, but do require a session with a staff member certified in the assessment to go over your results. To set up on one of these, contact capd@mit.edu or make an appointment. On the CAPD website, I encourage you to review the PDF of our handbook. In addition to helping you with your resume, job search, and networking, this handbook also provides some helpful pages that you can use to help you reflect on who you are and what you might like to do with your major. CAPD also provides you access to My Plan, which includes online assessments for personality, interest, and skills, but you may also find the information related to exploration of majors, careers, and college programs helpful too. You can access this resource through the MIT-only resources section of the CAPD website. Understanding what you value can be a great way to begin thinking about a major. During in-person sessions, CAPD can guide a student through a values card sort to help you prioritize what might be most meaningful for you. A free online version is also available if you set up a virtual appointment with us. An overarching framework that I like to use with students is on the construct of ikigai. This is a Japanese approach that allows you to consider how what you love, what you're good at, what pays, and what the world needs can help you uncover your purpose or reason for being. Finding your ikigai can be a lifelong process, but as you contemplate your intended major, it helps to consider how it aligns with these different aspects. As you utilize these different ways to think about who you are, remember that assessments have limits and are only providing a singular snapshot of who you are. I recommend that you use them as a way to talk about your decision-making process with a friend or advisor. And keep in mind that you will continue to grow and develop over time, so do not let these results dictate who you are. As I just mentioned, sometimes it is helpful to gain other perspectives as you're considering your major. Here are some tools for you to keep in mind as you are making this decision. One way to think about how others can help you is just by being in their presence. Author Neil Pasricha provides what he calls the bench test. He mentioned that a friend of his, Frederick Thade, was going to choose between different Ivy League schools and spent time in the middle of each campus, listening to the conversations that were going on around him. By sitting amongst his potential colleagues, he was able to develop a better understanding of which environment he would be better suited for. Imagine that you're at a large social gathering and have arrived after many of the other guests. Around the room, there are 6 conversations happening regarding different topics. As you listen in, you start to determine if the conversation topic is something that interests you. If it does, it might make sense for you to be around them more and dive deeper into the conversation. Regarding your time at MIT, you might have developed an understanding of different majors based on your coursework, research opportunities, or other students. But what if there are multiple conversations happening that interest you? Don't worry, just like your academic coursework, think of how you can combine different interests together into a minor or concentration. You can likewise continue to develop interests outside of academics through student clubs and organizations. Also consider gaining insights from upperclassmen as well. The institutional research page of MIT provides a lot of information from different surveys of students conducted by the Institute. Several of the surveys, including the Perceptions of Academic Majors survey, can help provide you with some insight into why students selected different majors. In addition to the surveys on the IR main page, Career Advising and Professional Development also has our own survey data that can help you see summer opportunities and post-graduation plans for students from different majors. But don't just limit yourself to current students. There are alumni who also want to help through the Alumni Advisors Hub. As individuals who have completed different courses at MIT and are now outside of the Institute, they can provide you guidance and insight into different ways their major has helped them in their research, academic, or professional life. In addition to Alumni Advisors Hub, you can also find alumni on LinkedIn. In addition to sorting alumni based on what they studied, you can access some of their career progression information on each of their profiles to see what kinds of experiences they had before, during, and after their time at MIT. When connecting with alumni, you might be uncertain about what kinds of questions to ask. The CAPD handbook provides tips for conducting an informational interview. Informational interviewing is a powerful tool to help you build connections with different people. As you connect with different people, whether they are upperclassmen, faculty, staff, alumni, or professional connections, consider how you might leverage informational interviewing to help you navigate your decision-making. Finally, consider reviewing different job descriptions for existing positions. Many employers will not only list the experience needed for different opportunities, but the degree programs as well. Conduct a search for different positions you hope to obtain after completing your education. You might find a major that will align nicely with that goal, but don't just solely think about the preferred degrees either. Look to the skills and abilities requested by the organization and use that to help you with selecting classes and extracurricular activities as well. If you focus on your major simply based on your future career, keep in mind that the world of career is complex. This table by Katie Cross from her book, Profession and Purpose, gives an example of how different organizations and occupations relate. If, for example, you are interested in sustainability, keep in mind that you can have a traditional job in a sustainability-oriented organization, you could have a sustainability-oriented job in a traditional organization, or you could have a sustainability-oriented job in a sustainability-oriented organization. Many areas like creative work and social justice work can be organized in a similar way, so don't just focus solely on the position. But don't necessarily rely on others to tell you what to do or feel that you will be able to exactly follow in their proverbial footsteps. It might have worked for them differently, or there might have been other factors that led them to do something completely different. Leverage their perspective and combine it with your reality and needs to help you figure out what is best for you. Now that you have a lot of information about yourself and others, it is time to bring a lot of that information together into an action plan for you. Sometimes it is helpful to map out your direction. This wayfinding map, courtesy of the Stanford D School and the Designing Your Life program, can help you reflect on different pathways, what led you to consider that pathway, and either discouragements or reinforcements along the way. Start by thinking about the previous year. What did you do? And ideate various options that can inform your major choice. Look for themes and look for ways that you can combine different themes together as you plan out the next few years. As you set your goals, sometimes it helps to transform your goals into a concrete format. One tool to consider is the 5-year resume. This exercise, conceived by Dennis and Ruth Laker, helps with your career planning by identifying what you would like to have on your resume in 5 years, what you currently have on your resume, and what areas you will need to focus on in the coming years. Don't just limit this to your education. Also think about what internships, research opportunities, and other experiences you would like to have in addition to the skills and abilities you would like to acquire. After all of this, you still might need to whittle things down based on a few top choices. The CAPD handbook has a great choice of major sheet that allows you to compare side by side 3 different majors. Don't be limited by the considerations we list, and feel free to factor in your own ideas or ways to compare and contrast. This or any other pro-con list are great ways to think about what direction you would like to go. I realized I covered a lot, but I wanted to leave you with a few final thoughts about your major. With the future of work, there are a lot of unknowns. The world is constantly changing, and more than ever, it is important to keep an open mind. As we learn about new ways to do work and new pressures that change existing work, we might need to future-proof ourselves. In addition to specific technical skills, continue to develop strong interpersonal skills that will see you through any sort of changing time. Be flexible, continue to learn even after you complete your degree, and seek help whenever and wherever you need it. In addition to an open mind, I encourage you to also adopt a growth mindset. Psychologist Carol Dweck studied the trait of mindset and focused on individuals who adopted a growth mindset, meaning they have the ability to grow and develop their talents through effort and persistence. This is important to consider as you contemplate your major. With a growth mindset, just because you might not be strong at mathematics or physics or any other discipline does not mean you will always be that way. To this point, she shared the power of yet. Whenever you think of something that you can't do, add the word yet to the end of it, as in, I am not good at it yet. Give yourself time to improve your skills and don't resign yourself to a fixed mindset about your abilities. And as a reminder, your major is only one facet of who you are. You are a unique blend of different experiences, skills, abilities, and perspective. Allow your major to add to who you are and never let it restrain you. So thank you for joining me. I hope that you found the information presented helpful, but I also realize that not every tool will fit every problem. So make an appointment with me or another member of CAPD, and we can help you with your specific major puzzle. As a reminder, a list of linked resources is available in Handshake.